Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick. This is a daily ramble. I'm going to have a ramble on this one. Well, yesterday went exactly how I anticipated that it would, so as today, thus far. Such are the manipulation skills of the West Ham board and their little minions in the in the press, who will just parrot whatever they say. You know, 1 minute they'll say West Ham have bid £57 million for a player, and then the next day say we haven't got any money to spend. I mean, if Sullivan was feeding me this information, I'll tell him where to go. I've got to be honest with you. You know, I'd say, you're making me look a mug, mate. You're making me look a mug. But we don't talk to the board. We're not in anybody's pocket. Nobody's. We're completely independent. We'll never, ever have any association with people that run the club, because then, as far as I'm concerned, you're compromised. You're absolutely compromised, because you're part of the system then. And we know, and this is not a system that you want to be part of when you've got an owner of a club that likes to manipulate fans with nonsense. So, yes, obviously those stories were going to come out. You know, me being dismissed, or the story being dismissed. I mean, look, I sort of justified my sources with the Duran leak on, was it Monday morning or Tuesday morning? I don't know. This week is disappearing. And then later on that day, it did break. So I kind of corroborated that my source of information is legit, if you like. And, but still, you will notice that nobody credited Claret and Booze with that break, though. That didn't happen. It's like a little cartel world, because the people that own the club also want to control the media narrative, and they only want people to be respected in terms of information coming from the club whose mouths they control. That's it. They don't control my mouth. Nobody controls. I don't even control my mouth. So this will happen every time. I won't be right every time either. I never want to be known as an ITK. I do get information and I share it. It's as simple as that. And I will only share it if I believe it. And if I've got, and certainly in this instance, I do believe it. 100% I believe it. I'm completely on board with it. I did say at the end of the video yesterday that this deal was at a stage now where I don't believe that even West Ham can mess it up, which is why I reported that it's very, very close. But obviously, look, Sullivan is involved in this. He is. And it isn't just Sullivan. It's all of the other people that are involved. People like Barry Silkman, all of his intermediaries, Will Salthouse, everyone else that's got a different angle. Perhaps Gomez might be standing in the way of a Barry Silkman player, for instance, you know? Barry Silkman's thinking, I'm going to be cashing in here. I've got a player I'm going to be bringing into West Ham. And then Sullivan comes to him and says, I've got this Gomez that someone's brought to me, Barry. Would you reckon? We've got to keep it on the low, though. We've got to keep it on the low, because if everyone finds out about it, then obviously we'll have too much competition and we never sign him, so it can't go to the press. What do you think about it? Oh, no, Dave. No, you don't want him. And then he'll go and speak to someone else. Because all of, as I understand it, Sullivan's circle of experts that he will consult on about players with, they're all football agents. They're all football agents that have got their own clients. So they will dismiss anyone that isn't their own player. And they'll also try and, of course, sabotage deals. It's no coincidence that story broke. You remember when I did the Angel Gomez story, I said I'm surprised that story is leaked, because it was said to be kept very tightly under wraps, because everyone involved in the deal, especially the people that were brokering it, said do not let this story get out, because if it gets out, we'll probably get beat to the punch by someone else, because everyone thinks that Angel Gomez is going to run his contract down until the summer. They don't know that he's willing to sign a pre-contract agreement now. And it leaked to TalkSport. Well, it wasn't. It was David Bailey, wasn't it? And then TalkSport and everyone picked it up. So it's done intentionally. Some of these deals for some magnificent players that get brought and offered to West Ham, they get sabotaged by, I'm sorry, the idiot that runs a club, who surrounds himself with people that I think he thinks are his friends, but they're not. They've just got they've got their hands in his pockets. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. And obviously, what happens then when somebody like myself, whose mouth they don't control, does break a story and does look like he's sort of getting ahead of the curve, and maybe is siding with people that are not part of that cartel, because that's what it is at West Ham. It is a cartel, the Will Salthouse cartel. They're all part of the same mechanism. They'll try and discredit it. They will. But like I said, the information that I share on this channel, I don't charge for it. So why you bitch and you moan, many of you, I don't know. If you don't want to know about news, then don't watch a video where the thumbnail is breaking news or anything like that, because obviously that means I'm going to share something with you. If you don't want to know, you don't have to listen. YouTube is free. It doesn't cost you anything. I'm not putting any of this information behind a paywall. If I find something out, I'll share it with everyone. I will. I'm a gossip. What can I say? But I will only share things that I believe. It's as simple as that. Do I still believe that the Gomez deal is going to get done? Yeah, I do. I do. Hold-ups on the deal? I don't know. Million miles away. So some people are saying, well, what could that be? Now, I'm completely, might be going around the houses here, but I explained what happened with the Duran deal. The Duran deal was brokered, got to a stage where we could basically go and get the deal done. And then we go around and try and go in through the back door and knacker it all. Could be something similar happening again with this deal. It won't work. I will say that on this front, it will not work. They'll knacker. Well, it didn't work with Duran, but it definitely won't work with Gomez. So if they try and do something similar, which is cutting people out and planting their own people in the chain, it will go bandy again. And this is when you get stories come out via the people whose mouths they control. We didn't get the player because they had a greedy agent and the player was greedy. Basically, they didn't let me put Barry Silkman in the chain. That's normally what it equates to. But obviously, the masses will believe the long-established, and I get that, the long-established ITKs and stuff like that. I get that. But I don't care. You can believe me. You don't believe me. My conscience is clear. I do not lie. I don't. I've got nothing to gain by sharing information with you on a free YouTube channel. Nothing at all. I just, to be quite honest, I quite enjoy the idea of making Sullivan squirm. I do. For all the pain and anguish that he's caused us West Ham fans over the years. I quite like there being a voice out there. I like it being mine as well. Someone that he don't control. So I'll always give you a different perspective. You'll never get anything coming. And one thing that I'll never be able to tell you, though, is what Sullivan is going to do. So I will never, ever be able to tell you we are absolutely 100% signing this player. I won't. And nobody can, because Sullivan is capable of anything. You know? You talk about moving goalposts at the last minute. Anything can happen with David Sullivan. So nobody can tell you that 100% a deal was ever going to happen. But all I can share with you are the players of profiles that I really think will improve West Ham, that have been offered to the club, that are interested, and you know, and let you know if there's been negotiations and whether or not it's looking like it's going the right way. That's all I can share with you. I said that at the end of the video yesterday. I can't tell you what Sullivan is going to do. You can't get the ump with me if West Ham don't sign a player. I'm not doing it. I'm not David Sullivan. I can't sign a deal. I can only tell you who we're being linked with. And that's the same with anyone else. Nobody knows what Sullivan's going to do. I don't even think he knows what he's going to do. He doesn't. He changes from one day to the next. But I maintain, and the only reason I'm so confident with these two deals is because they're so good, the deals, with two amazing players that would really elevate the image of West Ham. And the deals are too good to turn down. If they are turned down, I'm going to go into an awful lot more detail about what it is that I know. I am. I'm going to commentate on this the whole way through because I think it needs exposing. It does. It does need exposing because why? Why would you not sign Angel Gomez on a pre-contract with really, really reasonable terms as well? He wouldn't even be coming in as one of the highest paid players. He wouldn't be. You know, he's nowhere near Lucas Paqueta's wage. This is a free agent as well. A free agent. Why wouldn't you do it? That makes sense, does it? Because we've already heard that Graham Potter, the manager, has told him, and the same people that are now sort of poo-pooing this story, they're the ones that reported that Graham Potter has told him to go and get that player because he does want him. And Graham Potter absolutely has. I know that as well. I know that Potter's dead keen on Gomez. So you've got a player on the table that you can go and get on a pre-contract because if you leave it until the end of the season, you've got no chance. You've got to get it done now. and they're dithering. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like I said, you know, linked with Duran, but then I hear stories about players that are being offered by the likes of Barry Silkman and Tim Steiten and players like that, and people like that. Players like that Tolu from Ghent. That's the level of player that you end up with. So rather than getting a player that would absolutely would come to West Ham and improve West Ham, you don't necessarily get the best player. It's not about the player. It's about who represents that player. It's as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned. And if the right person doesn't represent a player, then you better damn sure let me put one of my people in a deal. Otherwise, there is no deal. And that is a way of the world of West Ham. So like I said, please don't get the arsehole with me. I will continue bringing you news. If you don't want to hear this news, don't watch the fucking videos. If you're going to watch the videos and go, oh, this is bollocks, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that, oh, I don't believe you. It's not compulsory. You don't have to watch it. All right? But I'm going to carry on sharing what I know because I'm a giver. So I'll speak to you all soon. And come on, you irons. More updates come soon.